Welcome to Derpy Elephant Woodworking. Um, so, first video, as I was finishing up the vase, the battery on my phone died, which was the perfect timing because everybody would have had a good laugh. Um, I pushed the tool in a little bit too far. It separated. The thing didn't go flying or anything. I had my hand on it, but definitely more than I intended. And the way that I had clamped the top of the vase into the chuck here, it broke. So it was a free piece of wood that didn't end up being a vase. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing with that. But um, I've tried here over the last week to make a couple of flutes. One, I got a lot of criticism because it turned out to look not quite like a little whistle. I said flute, I meant whistle. And then I tried another one with a different design that turned out pretty good. I'll post those pictures and everybody can kind of guess what exactly the flute or whistle, since I can't say whistle for some reason, what that turned into or what its new nickname is. So I went to Home Depot. I bought a fairly large dowel, way bigger than I really need. And while we were there, I saw this piece of black walnut, and it was cut in half. There was no price tag on it, and so I wasn't sure what it was going to cost. I knew what it was per board foot, but I went to the front and asked the lady. I said, "Hey, I'm not sure what you guys are going to charge this for me, or charge me for this." And sweet lady goes, "Well, I'm not sure either. So why don't you just go take it and make something beautiful out of it?" I said, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?" And she said, "Absolutely." I said, "Okay." So that's what I've done. I brought it home and I've used it so far to make a reed. And I thought, what'd be cool is to try and make a whistle with just some offsetting black walnut. So we're gonna do that and see how this turns out. Hopefully I glued it right. If not, this will come apart once my chisels hit. This is still a little bit on the not quite 100% dry side, but we'll see what happens. So we got it all glued up. It's in the lathe. Everything is set, ready to go. Just going to adjust this a tiny bit. Bring this guy in. Make sure that's make sure that's in there the right way. And yeah, we'll give this a shot. Never done anything like this, so speed that up just a little bit. Just enough to be dangerous here. Start hogging off some of that material and getting it down to shape. So we'll see. Just going to be real gentle with it. I've also got the phone plugged in, so less likely to. Oops. The good news is that hasn't just gone flying off of there. Missed the button. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's getting pretty down. It's really interesting how different it is when you can just feel. This is a Dow said hardwood, but I'm pretty sure it's just pine. But just how different it is. So we'll see how this turns out. So far, so good. Getting some things. I'm gonna start working on this one here. And yeah. Okay, cool. Very different feel when you're working on either one of these woods. So we'll see. I might have to at some point just go get some oak or something less soft. But for now, this will work. We'll see what it looks like and finish it up. The cool thing is, I mean, this was $10 for a long section, a long one. I can make a dozen whistles out of it, and this was free. So I'm not hurting. So it's good. All right, we're gonna turn this up just a little bit. Yep, perfect. I'm actually rolling right now. I want to get it to about 1600 RPM. Just a little touch over. Okay. So I'm gonna put the hole for the middle here. Perfect. All right. Right up to it. Turn it on. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. Not by much. I'm just gonna go down to like 1300. I'm not sure if that's better or not. I don't know. From what I've seen, it is. We're just gonna guide this in. Now I want my reed to only come in about this far, right here. And so, in fact, I'm going to just go ahead and mark it real quick, kind of where I want it. See how this works. Probably about right there. So I don't need to go much past this. This is going to be a longer whistle. And so we'll see. We'll see what we do here with that. Just letting it in, and then I'm going to back it out just a little bit. So I'm a little bit past that, and that's okay. I don't need to go all the way in. We'll get a pretty good sound out of it either way. If I need to go further, the cool thing is I can just do that a little bit later. All right. Now we're going to put our center back in there. Tighten that up. All right. Just going to adjust this to get a little closer again. All right, so the first one I made, it was pretty funny, but I waited till the whole thing was done, and then I tried to put the hole in the middle. It wouldn't stay centered because the way that the mouthpiece was, and it ended up being a problem. I threw that one away, got another one. But I was making those just out of little pine scraps that I had from my yard. I've got 2 giant pine trees that we cut a bunch of limbs down so they weren't hanging a couple years ago. Well, probably about a year ago. And so I just used those. They're still a little green, but I didn't have any problems with cracking or stuff. There was definitely some wood-boring beetles or insects that were in there, and so it had some holes. It was pretty cool. First one I tossed. Second one that I actually completed, was able to make a reed and put it in. That one turned out pretty cool. And so yeah, that's where we are. So second one turned out great. I actually used this walnut here for the reed, thinking that would make a difference. And one little spot of black walnut didn't do it for me. So. My kids are walking outside of the shop here. Oh no! The wood, it separated. So, it's funny, what had happened was, I was trying to show my daughter what the black walnut would look like with a finish on it, and some of that finish got on the backside of the walnut, so when I glued it, it just didn't hold. So lesson learned: be really careful about it. Maybe use a piece you're not planning on using for the project itself. That would have been smart. So I'm just working. I will speed that guy up. Make sure that's in there. Really nice. So basically what I ended up doing, because this, I just couldn't get a flat edge. It was too small of a piece. So cut this down to where that finish wasn't affecting it anymore. And then realized I could have left it, because this part I just pulled out. So it'll be a little bit different than what the original plan was, but we'll still make it look cool. So, or we'll try to anyway. We'll see. All right, so we're just going to crank this up and start getting this back to a circle shape. I can get it pretty close. So now we're just going to go ahead and redo what we'd already done, putting the hole back in there. Once again, we're going to turn this down just a little bit. Right around 900. All right, so now it's just time to start bringing it down, getting some design. I'm gonna get a little hole and just put it right back, probably right in here. That way we can put a little lanyard or something on it. So doesn't have to be anything special, and we're going to lose a lot of material, so I'm not worried about it blowing out the back end. Okay, so just got a little hole, blew out the back end a little bit, but like I said, we're going to lose a bunch of that material still, so not super worried about it. That'll be, once this is done, we can round that over and tie a little lanyard on it. Just get this a little closer to where we want it. Okay. Kind of like that. where it kind of has the 3 sections there, and then gets a little bit thicker for the walnut. Maybe leave this just a little bit thicker through here. All right, so I know this is just a whistle, nothing major, but it's kind of neat to be able to, hold it different ways, and it's kind of a neat little design. So we'll finish this out. This is getting pretty thin, so I don't want to take any more out of that, but I am going to roll this over. Just try to make that pretty smooth edge. And then I'll drill out or cut right here for the notch. Okay. Spindle gouge is not something I'm super good with yet, so we definitely beefed it. I keep beefing it. That's all right. Little bowl gouge out. Okay, so all that'll sand pretty well. Kind of like that. It's pretty neat. Get the sander on it. So I'm thinking right here. Right here, I think we'll. Should I do it further back? No, let's just do it. We won't have to go very, very deep now, but we'll do it here and then come in at an angle there. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good right there. So didn't want to cut it too far in, too far into it, and I can clean this up here with a chisel and then sandpaper. That's pretty clean. So just grab a little chisel. Again, these are just Harbor Freight chisels. I just trying to not put a ton of pressure on it. I'm just trying to clean up a little bit here that maybe kind of the rough edges coming down. But I have some little files too that I can get in here really well and just sand. So just gonna tighten that up a little bit. Okay, so this is basically going to be our shape for the whistle. Beautiful little thing. Ooh, we got a little ding here. I saw when that happened too. That's okay. We'll gonna do it. So you'll notice too, I didn't do it exactly lined up, but I have my holes on the, fairly similar, but this won't matter too much. And then really, I mean, I could do a whole bunch of things. I can just pull this out, sand this down round, or I can flip this around. But I think I kind of just like that ending there. I could do a little parting tool and just part this off, but I'd rather sand this all down, make it look good, and finish it all. So we're going to do that. Just a little piece of 120. Throw that guy in reverse. Got my rest out of the way. I get this going pretty fast. I don't need it at 1500, but you know, like 1200 RPM. Going backwards, a little bit less. We can just start cleaning this up. Well, I'll tell you, sanding really hides some of your mistakes, of which I make many. So, I mean, that's the great thing about lathing, doing this work. I didn't have a plan. I knew what I wanted to make, but I didn't have, you know, I knew kind of what it was going to look like. I wanted to try some different things. And we'll just see. That is, my total cost on this is maybe $2 or $3. And my time, which I'm enjoying. Jumping over to 180. This step might not even be necessary, but I do it anyway. I don't mind taking just a little bit extra time to get everything worked out. Stop and take a look at it. See if there's anywhere I really need to focus. Yeah, I need to get some more work there. Back here. Definitely in these spots. Finally, I'm just bumping up to a 220. And I think I mentioned this in the last video, but I don't really see too much of a reason to go above 120. You might feel differently. That's awesome. You know, I've got 1000 grit in here. I just don't feel like I need it. It's good enough for the girl I go with. Looking beautiful. And absolutely beautiful. That ding still. No, that ding will just be there. It's okay. That's a cool little spot right there. Get the wood grain going. So I'm just going to turn it on a little bit. Just going to finish it with some Howard feed and wax. I like this stuff. I know there's better stuff out there, but for my purposes, this is fine. It's something we're going to put in our mouths, so I don't want to shellac the heck out of it or anything. Just get that all through there. Just bringing out that. Sorry, my hand's in the way. I was enjoying it. I don't know if you could even see it, but I was enjoying it. Just look at it bringing out that really pretty wood grain. Gonna let that be for a few minutes. I mean, that doesn't take. Oh no, oh, it wasn't dry. Oh no, boy, that just didn't dry. This is beautiful too. That is sad. That is definitely not what I wanted to have happen there. I think I could save it still. All right, we'll stop the video there. Let me see if I can't save this. Okay, so we're back. I glued this up with some expanding glue. We had originally drilled our hole here, so it's not perfect, but it will serve its purpose. So I'm just going to come back through and sand it down again. I'm going to go right to the 120 grit. I'm sorry, 220, and we'll just get this ready and then refinished. We'll finish off the back end of this and make the reed. Learning my lesson not to put my stinking hand right there. You might have to go a little stronger. This stuff is pretty good, but okay, well, that's a permanent fixture on this. Now we'll just see what it looks like when we finish it up. Looks pretty good. Nice. Haven't decided 100% how to finish this back end, but so far it's looking pretty good. So Got a weak point in there. It's interesting. Just a little bit of a weak point. Throw that in the scrap bucket. Didn't make it. So the end fits on there. We just need to get it the rest of the way. I think it's humming along now. Oh yeah, okay. Well, and truly that might have been too much. So it'll, okay. Fit. I might have to actually put some glue onto this one, so which is okay. All right. First thing I'm gonna do, just gonna clean that up just a little bit. Okay. Oh, well, shoot. Where did it go? Luckily, that's going to be long enough. I just now have to find a little piece. There we go. Okay. Dang, this little piece was not messing around when it came to breaking. So, good news is, like I said, should be fine. Just want a little bit more. Boy, that's going to dull the crap out of that, isn't it? It's all right. I can sharpen it back up. Okay. And just kind of oh man, that's definitely too loose. Okay. Holy cow. That's that's pretty gosh darn loud. I think that'll work. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. Probably just sand it round to the edges down so that it just is there. And then, yeah, pretty darn cool. That's the loudest one yet.